Hey guys, welcome back to TransMath 2. We are starting on a new unit today. We are on lesson 1. We're going to be talking about number lines and how we can use those to compare fractions. So we can use number lines to compare numbers and fractions. The numbers get bigger as we move from left to right. For example, 40 is to the left of 70. So 40 is closer to 0 than 70. Therefore, 40 is less than 70. We can compare fractions on the number line in exactly the same way. Let's compare 1/3 and 2/3. 1/3 is to the left of 2/3 on the number line. So 1/3 is less than 2/3. Next, we're going to be moving on to our problem-solving portion of our lesson, where we're going to talk about developing good number sense about fractions. Before we work with fraction operations, we need to develop our fraction number sense. Look at the number line. The number line shows that 2/3 is close to 1. We can also see the fraction is close to 1 because the numerator is very close to the denominator. Let's look at another number line. This number line shows that 1/5 is close to 0. We can also see the fraction is close to 0 because the numerator, 1/5 or 1/5, is much less than the denominator. Knowing the magnitude of a fraction involves understanding the relative size of the numerator compared to the denominator. Now let's look at some patterns of fractions to continue to develop our number sense. What pattern do you see as you read the fractions from left to right? As we read from left to right, the denominator stays the same, but the numerator increases. These fractions get greater from left to right. This pattern is really easy to see on a number line. The fraction 1/3 is close to 0 because the fraction's numerator is close to the denominator. But as we move to the right, the numerator becomes equal to the denominator, and then greater than the denominator. When the numerator is greater than the denominator, the fraction is greater than 1. Let's look at another fraction pattern. What pattern do you see? As we read from left to right, the numerator stays the same and the denominator increases. What do you think the number lines will show for these fractions? We see that the fraction 1/2 is halfway between 0 and 1. As the denominators get larger and larger, the fractions get smaller and closer to 0. The denominators in the fractions become much greater than the numerator, making the fractions close to 0. That's it for lesson 1, unit 2. Tune into Schoology to get your homework assignment.